Alan Friesen here. This is more of a personal video than it is a video about employee benefits, which of course most of my videos are. This is about Tesla motor cars. I bought one, a pre-owned one, in January of 2017, and it's now June of 2017. And I was a little concerned about buying it because, gee, I didn't know much about them, and I was a little worried about it. But I love the car now, so it's great. I really enjoy the car. But I'm going to give you my top 10 questions that people ask me about it all the time. So question number 1 says, where do you charge it? Okay, so I charge it at home. I have a charging station, and it basically uses like a range outlet. So it runs at 220, and then it takes from there about 10 hours to charge the car to a full charge. So it gets about 38 kilometers of range per hour that it's plugged in. So about 10 hours is what it would take to charge the car, because the car has a 400 kilometer range, 406 sometimes, 408, but 400 kilometers, call it that. So that's how long it takes to charge the car at home. But where else do you charge it? Well, restaurants, some municipal buildings like towns and municipalities have charging stations. PV Marts have charging stations, and those ones are all vary in terms of how long it takes to charge them. But the best ones, of course, are supercharger stations, and supercharger stations are Tesla stations, and those ones charge very rapidly, especially the bottom half of that range. So it'll charge at a rate of, let's say, 400 kilometers per hour. So you're on for a half hour and you've got another 200 kilometers of range. And the second question that always gets asked is, oh, okay, great, here's where you charge it. Well, what's it cost to charge it? Zero on all the other public and destination stations and the supercharger stations. It costs you money at home, and here's how it works. My car is an 85 car, model 85. I didn't know what 85 meant, but 85 means 85 kilowatt hours. So that means to get it to a full charge, which is 400 kilometer range, then you'd have to add in 85 kilowatt hours. So my electrical bill, including the distribution and everything else, is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. So if you take 14 times it by 85, it's like $11.70 is what it costs to charge that car to a full charge. That's assuming that every charge is at home, which certainly that's not the case with me. I travel around a fair bit and I use other charging stations. So that's what it would be there. Also, the 400 kilometer range, you don't always get, or you don't get a 400 kilometer range. It depends on how fast you drive, how much wind there is, the weather conditions, any of those kind of things, how much weight is in the car, how many people you have in the car, any of those things can impact that range. So for me, if I'm driving very close to the speed limit, then I might get 95% of that range. So if it says it's 400 kilometers, I'm going to get 380 kilometers. If I'm driving more aggressively or assertively, let's call it that, or it's cold weather, or that range starts to come down. But they have a nice little tracker right on your dash. You hit it, and it kind of gives you an indication of, your car says you have 100 kilometers range left, but the instrumentation tells you, oh, you actually only have 80 left. So it took me like 2 months to figure that out. But anyways, I know that now. And then the third thing is, well, what happens if you run out of charge? And then if you run out of charge, the car stops. That's what happens. I've done it now. So it doesn't give you any extra. I thought I'd have another 10 kilometers or something, but when it gets down to zero, it just sends you a little message saying, hey, you're done, pull over, you're finished. So, and then what do you do after that? Well, I had to get a tow truck come and pick me up, tow me home, because home was close. I was only like 4 kilometers from home. Back me into my garage where I charged my car up again, and the next day I was rolling again. Another question that comes up all the time, I'm not sure if I'm going to have 10 or not. I think this is 5, right? Another question that comes up is, well, where do you get it serviced? And so really the service kind of comes in like 3 levels. The car is always connected to the internet. Tesla can always log in and look at your car and see how it's working. Matter of fact, they do constant updates with that. I just did an update last night. They send you a little thing and it says, hey, press this, is this a convenient time to do an update? And then they update the software and make the car nicer, is basically what they do. So they can log into the car remotely, make any changes, enhancements that they've come up with. The second is they have these folks called rangers, and the rangers are people who would come out to your place and fix the car right in your driveway, kind of a thing. And then third is a service shop. So now, until recently, there's been a service shop only in Calgary, or pardon me, in Vancouver. A new one now is open in Calgary next week. So July 5th, I believe it is. So July 5th, 6th. It's open in Calgary. So then before, I had a problem with the car early on and it needed to go to a service shop, and Tesla was kind enough to send a covered car carrier over, pick my car up, truck it to Vancouver, fix it, rent me a car while they were fixing mine. So I was pretty impressed. And they're really, really responsive. You dial them any time of night and have a question, which I have had many, and then they answer them and they look after things for you. So yeah, those questions. Talked about the range. Oh, how long does the batteries last? And the batteries have a guarantee of 8 years. 8 years, doesn't matter how many kilometers, the battery and the motor actually, so 8 years. And then the next question is, well, what happens at the end when the battery's no good? And I don't know. I'm told that you can replace the whole battery pack. Right now it's like about $25,000 US to do that, but I expect that pricing will become more favorable, and the ranges will actually increase because just battery technology. I mean, you think about how that works, right? The Tesla also has this gigafactory in combination with a couple other huge battery users, battery type companies, and I'm sure they're going to make batteries more cost effective and with better range. So when my car comes up, when the batteries are no longer serviceable, I expect for a reasonable price, I'll be able to replace the batteries in it, and away I go again. Other than that, there's like zero maintenance, right? There's no oil changes, there's the batteries, or pardon me, the brakes last forever because it has this regenerative braking. When you take your foot off the gas, it recharges the batteries. So the braking does actually very little work. You have to replace tires, of course, those wear out. You have to replace the windshield washer antifreeze, those wear out. But other than that, there's really no service. And the car is super, super quiet. All you hear is basically the road noise. So another question is well, gee, what's the performance like on the car? And it is really good. It has very, very strong acceleration, and further, it handles very nicely as well. It's a big car. You can comfortably sit 5 people in it. Has a huge trunk and a huge frunk, the front trunk. So very big car, 4,000 pounds or so, but handles really good, has very good acceleration. So I'm a big fan of the Tesla Model S. Yeah, so there's a little update on Tesla, on the questions I commonly get asked. I hope that is of value to you. Keep well.